evening, everybody, for the next 5 minutes until it turns Saturday. Welcome in to the Postgame show for Vol Society Live. My name is David Morrison. We got a crowd tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's 4 minutes until midnight, but let's celebrate this Orange Bowl win. Shout out to Timothy. Shout out to Kathy. Way to go. By the way, while we got a lot of people in here, we want to thank our sponsor for tonight, Marley Pacific Handmade. So Miss Marley made me this pillow right here, this beautiful University of Tennessee Vol pillow. She makes wonderful handmade pillows, handmade blankets, quilts. So as soon as you get done watching me, please go pay a visit to Marley Pacific Handmade. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. Pay her a visit. Order you something. I mean, whether it's for a baby, for an adult, she makes baked goods. So thank you, Marley, for sponsoring tonight's live stream pre and post game show. We got the comments flowing in. Let's see here. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Carolyn's saying, go Big Orange. 31-14 final. What about the balls from Michelle? Beasley is a beast from Timothy. Thanks, Coach, from Robert. Great to be a Tennessee Vol. Yeah, share the video out, folks. I mean, this chat's going crazy. Thank you, guys. So go ahead and pull up the thing. There it is right there. It's official. Tennessee wins the Orange Bowl 31-14, finishes the regular season at 11-2. By the way, if you're new, my name is David Morrison. I'm the Vol Society lead analyst. Thank you for tuning in so far on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. So, like I said, Tennessee wins the Orange Bowl 31-14. What a night to be a Tennessee Vol. Nia saying, yeah, and love my boys. Big woohoo and awesome. Yeah, so, keep these comments flowing. If I'm going to try to read it all, but hey, that's all right. I may have to go back and read it again, but let's just go ahead and talk about this game. If you go back and watch the pregame show, I actually kind of picked Clemson to win, but I said, please go out there and win it for me so I'll prove I'm wrong. And Tennessee proved me wrong tonight, and we are the Orange Bowl champions tonight. There was a lot of uncertainty, not having Jalen Hyatt, not having Cedric Tillman, not having Jeremy Banks. Trevion Flowers was kind of a late scratch, but Tennessee pulled it out. And what about Joe Milton? Joe Milton pulled it through for us. 19 for 28, 251 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight. Fantastic. I mean, there was some throws that he did miscue, not going to lie, but when the time came for him to make the plays, he nailed it. Did a fantastic job. The running game was solid tonight. Jalen Wright led the way, 11 carries, 89 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, but that's okay. But he had a nice 42-yard run right in the fourth quarter in crunch time. Fantastic. Jabari Small, 13 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Just a fantastic job. How about Squirrel White? I am so excited for Squirrel White. We've been preaching his name all summer, and he finally showed up tonight. I mean, he's been showing up most of the season anyways, but tonight was a big breakout performance for him. 9 catches, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. That beautiful 50-yard reception where he caught it at the 2-yard line that set up for the big touchdown. Just absolutely fantastic. Ramel Keaton, 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Brew McCoy, 4 catches, 48 yards, a touchdown for him. Everybody did great tonight. I mean, just fantastic. Seeing the squirrel emojis from Camille. Like I said, just awesome job. You guys are flooding the likes and loves. Normally I do these shout outs, but keep it coming. I'm loving it. Defensively, Aaron Beasley tonight was a monster. Actually, ESPN hasn't updated all the stats yet, but 3 sacks tonight for Aaron Beasley. I'm sure he's probably going to win the Orange Bowl MVP. I'm going to go back probably be when I get up early in the morning, as now it's just eclipse midnight here where I'm at. Uh, I'm sure he's going to be the MVP, and I'll definitely check out the post game trophy presentation later on. Did a great job. Byron Young did a fantastic job. Tamarian McDonald with an interception. Wesley Walker got that final pick at the end. Just an awesome display tonight for the whole team. Very excited for this team and excited for the future of Tennessee football. There was, I think all the doubts of Joe Milton just kind of went out the window, at least for tonight, going into 2023. This is Joe Milton's team. What could have been, like I say, in today's college football world where players, you know, get frustrated and hit the transfer portal and they hop to another team, and then sometimes it may work out and sometimes, well, that didn't work, I'm gonna hop again. I mean, Joe Milton could have easily hit the transfer portal, but he was patient. He recognized, yeah, he lost the starting job to Hendon Hooker, and then unfortunately Hooker going out in the South Carolina game, but Joe Milton was ready. And a great attitude. He stuck out with Hendon Hooker. They become best friends, probably even brothers. It's just I'm happy for what Joe Milton has finally finally getting the recognition that he deserves. Just a fantastic job tonight. Didn't really turn the ball over. Like I said, he's still got that cannon of an arm, and it can be, a little bit, a little bit of a holding your breath at times. But like I said, I was really happy to see throw a little bit more touch in his passes. Like I said, I want him to still have that cannon arm for going into next year, but let's get a little more touches, especially some slants over the middle. I thought he looked very comfortable with the receivers he was with. Now, granted, like I said, granted, he pretty much been practicing with Brew McCoy and Keaton and Squirrel White all season, and even in mop-up duty. And so at least he was comfortable with the players he's with. Now, granted, obviously, if Hyatt and Tillman would have played, then yeah, they would help out too. But just a fantastic night. Like I said, I'm still reading your comments. I apologize, I'm not reading everybody's, but Michelle says Aaron played awesome. Sydney says, way to go, Vols. Woohoo from Natalie. Milton did great from Michelle. Presley says they won. We won. Tennessee won. The real orange won. And I got my orange juice tonight, or now it's in the morning, so it's appropriate because it is breakfast time. So there we go. Orange drink celebration. Yeah, I guess my overall, kind of looking at the opposition. Troy says Milton MVP. Okay. Kind of looking at the opposition to Clemson. You know, Kate Klubnik looked like a freshman. I'll just say that. He put up a good effort. 30 for 54, 320 yards. Did throw those 2 picks at the end. But yeah, he definitely looked a whole lot different than that ACC championship game, and I think there was a lot of hype for him going into this Orange Bowl. But Joe Milton did win the MVP of the Orange Bowl. Okay, thank you guys, Troy and Paul, for confirming that. Okay, I would have thought Beasley would have got it, but hey, Milton, that's fine too. We reaped his praises, so thank you guys for helping me. I'm gonna try to go back and watch the trophy presentation. If not now, then it'll be when the sun comes up. But I thought, like I said, Klubnik, like I said, he looked like a freshman. I mean, this was a big stage for him, and I know the ACC championship was, kind of a big stage for him at that point. But he didn't start the game; DJ did, and now you throwing into, obviously a New Year's Six bowl game, a primetime game against a Tennessee defense. Probably heard that this Tennessee defense is not that good, but Tennessee played very well in that one, and I, I especially my overall thoughts in the first half. We're so used to seeing Tennessee put up big numbers in the first half, leading 30 to 14 or even 31-14 in this case, like at halftime. But Tennessee played like an old school SEC defense out there. And, like I said, the offense was clicking at times, probably could have got some points out of it. But once they really made the plays that they needed to, and give credit to Tim Banks. I know Tim Banks has kind of been raked through the coals at times throughout the season, but he really executed his defensive play very well tonight against a Clemson offense that I thought would be a little bit more explosive. I mean, we kind of heard or kind of watched this year, Clemson's offense kind of struggle, but I'm thinking, well, you got Will Shipley and you got Nagata and Davis Allen and Randall and Williams. I thought they would put up a little bit more effort, but they played very conservative, and Tennessee really exploited that and did a fantastic job. Like I said, Troy saying Beasley played his butt off tonight. He did. I mean, we did not. I mean, it's crazy to think the last time Tennessee didn't have Jeremy Banks in the game, we gave up 63 points to the other team from the Palomento State in the Gamecocks, and now tonight, not having him, didn't really make much of a difference because Aaron Beasley filled that role very nicely, and I'm so excited for him coming back next year. Paul says, I say this, Shipley played his heart out. Yeah, he did. Will Shipley, great football player, very blue-collar running back. Man, I mean, Juwan Mitchell, when he went in for that two-point conversion and Juwan Mitchell laid the boom on him and just cracked him in the ribs, I couldn't imagine how he feels. I felt that at the house. Uh, yeah, and this, kudos to Will Shipley. This is a good Clemson team we face. I mean, there's some good characters on this team. Uh, Shipley. I even like Kate Klubnik's toughness. I mean, he's going to be fine. I'm interested to see how Clemson's going to really develop a playbook for him. Are they really going to let him sling it down there, down the field, make some explosive plays, or are they going to just kind of still be more conservative with them? Because watching Florida State now 2 nights ago, since it's past midnight, Florida State could make a run at Clemson next year. Well, we'll see. But like I said, we're celebrating Tennessee tonight. But yeah, shout out to Clemson for a great season. ACC champions, it's nothing to sneeze about. But hey, Tennessee for who would have thought in a calendar year you would defeat the last 2 ACC champions? You beat Pittsburgh back in September, and now here we are. I guess now yesterday, Tennessee ends up defeating this year's ACC champions, the Clemson Tigers, 31-14, finishing the season at 11-2 on the year. First time Tennessee finishes 11-2 since 2001, when we won the Citrus Bowl over Michigan. So it's been good 22 years now, almost 23, as we're now on the final day of 2022. And shout out to Josh Heupel. Coming back to the Orange Bowl, they show the highlight of him as a player winning the national championship at the Orange Bowl when Oklahoma beat Florida State. Now coming back as a coach, which I need to do research and see has that ever happened before. I'm sure probably somewhere it has, but hey, that's a big accomplishment for Josh Heupel. Nancy saying go good old Rocky Top, and Sean on YouTube watching saying Tennessee baby, go Big Orange. Yeah, I mean, fantastic night. I mean, and you can definitely see the tone. Yeah, Paul says he didn't win as a player too at the Orange Bowl. Yeah, won the national championship, and now winning the Orange Bowl for the good old Big Orange. Uh, I mean, the tone was kind of set in the first quarter. I mean, golly, but poor BT Potter, the Clemson kicker. I mean, you look at that opening drive for Clemson. They go down on Tennessee, drive the ball down on Tennessee, and then setting up for the field goal. And then they try to do the fake field goal early on and got stopped. Christopher giving us a rocky top. Shout out Christopher. And then, it was just a nightmare for BT Potter. for 55 yards out, he didn't hook it right. He hit it straight right. And then another wide right kick on the next drive. And then I was like from 49 yards out, and then a 42-yard field goal he missed wide left. And then he finally nailed the next two. But, man, it was just deja vu all over again for BT Potter. And, it could have been, that's 12 points just left off the board. Like I said, Tennessee did get 31. It could have been a one-possession game, which, I'll get to that in the third quarter in a minute. But, I think that really set the tone. Even Tennessee stops on third down. Let's see if they've updated the team stats so far. It looks like they have on the ESPN app. Let's see here. Trying to find on third down conversions and fourth downs here. Okay, so Clemson was 7 for 19 on third downs, 0 for 3 on fourth downs. Tennessee wasn't much better. They were 3 for 13, and they didn't convert a fourth down all night. Looking at some just stats in general, Clemson kind of really dominated all the stats for the most part. 34 first downs compared to Tennessee's 21. Total yards, Clemson had more, 484 to Tennessee's 375. Passing yards, Klubnik had more than Joe Milton, believe it or not, 320 to 251, which we talked about the turnover battle. Tennessee won the turnover battle, no turnovers for the Big Orange, and 2 for the Clemson Tigers. Rushing yardage, Clemson naturally led that one too. So, Clemson put up a valiant effort on our defense, but like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to the final scoreboard. Tennessee ends up getting the win, 31 to 14. And now we get ready for 2023 and Josh Heupel's year 3. So 11-2, and then 7 wins last year. Right now he is, if I'm doing my math right, it's 18-8 now at Tennessee. I think I'm doing that right. Yeah, doing math at 12:13 in the morning. Very nice. Nia says, I know Hendon is just so proud for Joe, MVP and Orange Bowl winning quarterback, and our D finally showed up. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Christopher, I forgot to read your comment. Nothing against Milton, but Clemson's kicker was our MVP. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I agree with you, Nia. I'm happy for Hendon too. I wish he played, but I was happy that he was still with the team and really being an encouraging leader for that, and being out there for the coin toss, and just so respected as a college football player. Bill, at the hotel here now, and the Clemson fans are coming in now, having their heads down. Oh, man. Wow, that's pretty cool that you're down in Miami there, Bill. Yeah, I'm sure Clemson fans are kicking themselves. They had a lot riding into 2023, and now, like I said, I think they're going to be in a battle next year in the ACC with Florida State rising. Who knows about? Of course, they're eliminating the division play in the ACC, so I think Clemson and Florida State are probably going to be the 2 top teams in the ACC next year. I think, matter of fact, I would probably take Florida State at this point. But as far as Tennessee goes, Bernard says, "Way to go, Big Orange!" Awesome. Yeah, as far as next year goes, like I said, I think I'm trying to remember the schedule off the top of my head. I know obviously Georgia comes into Neyland next year around November. That's going to be a pretty big game. Depends on how. Obviously Georgia's still got 1-2 games max to play the rest of the year. But that's going to be a big game next year, obviously, in Neyland when Georgia comes into town, and depends on how Tennessee is by that point. You could be looking at a potential replay of that Tennessee-Alabama game. Could Tennessee upset Georgia? Obviously we still got a long ways to go for that. But it's something to kind of keep an eye out on. Trying to think who else is on the schedule. Tennessee's got kind of a tough non-conference schedule. Like I said, you open the season in Nashville in September against Virginia. Obviously, Virginia is going to have a lot of emotions because this will be the first game they played since the tragedy. So a lot of emotion, obviously. UTSA is also coming to Knoxville next year. One of the tougher group of 5 schools Tennessee's going to face. And then UConn later on in the year, a team that kind of shocked the college football world making a bowl game. So uh, that's on the schedule. And then as far as SEC teams go, obviously the usual suspects. You get South Carolina at home next year, so revenge uh, for the Vols coming up as uh, the clown comes back into town with the circus and the elephants and all that. Oh, never mind. I'm getting off track. South Carolina fans, I'm sorry. Um, and then Georgia comes into town. Texas A&M also comes to Knoxville next year. That's going to be very interesting to see how Jimbo looks by this point next year. But lot of cool stuff coming aboard. Bill says, unbelievable turnaround. Thank you, Coach Heupel and staff. Absolutely, they deserve all the credit. Uh, you know, I said, you had a lot of players didn't play tonight. I mean, well, the big key players, obviously, Hyatt and Tillman, Banks, Flowers didn't play. And then you didn't have Alex Golish, uh, calling the plays. But, I think it was really Heupel's offense for the most part. But, yeah, definitely so. Once again, cheers to the Big Orange winning the Orange Bowl. Eddie says we are back. Absolutely. I think we're getting there. I think we are back. 11-win season. Like I said back in the pre-show and pretty much about every live stream I've done, if you would have told us back in July or August, hey, Tennessee's going to finish 11-2 on the year and win the Orange Bowl, and you're going to beat Alabama, I think every Vol fan would sign up for that in a heartbeat. And yeah, and now here we are. Like I said, obviously, hindsight 2020, you wanted to get that win over the Gamecocks and possibly play in a college football playoff. But I think the way the season played out, this is a nice storybook ending to a great 2022 season. I mean, 11 wins. I mean, that's great, especially here in modern day college football. And I think before as we kind of wind it down a little bit, I know it's really getting late, but we got to give a shout out to Hendon Hooker. Like I said, I know obviously he didn't play tonight, but Hendon Hooker was a main part of the reason where we are here tonight. I mean, and same thing with Coach Heupel, and I'll give his praise in a minute. But Hendon Hooker, uh, fantastic season for him, the uncrowned Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, a fantastic leader. Going to be going down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks of the University of Tennessee. And Josh Heupel. What can we say about Josh Heupel? Fantastic job for him. Just turning this program around. And the timing was perfect. Danny White, Donnie Plowman, they believe in Josh Heupel. They believe in this football team. Really believe in the university in general, in the athletic department. And they let Josh Heupel just coach. And there's no politicking. There's no backstabbing. There's some great leadership across Tennessee athletics. And I'm so happy not only the football team is healthy, but a lot of these programs are healthy. And this is just a fantastic night. Josh Heupel came into a very, very bad situation with the previous coaching staff. Program is at rock bottom. And and just like I said, here we are, 2 years later, 11-2 Orange Bowl champions. Bill saying celebrate on Cumberland Avenue tonight. I'm sure they're celebrating big time. Just a fantastic season. I mean, just reflecting on it. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and kind of sign off. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's late. I know it's past a lot of people's bedtime, including mine, but thank you for supporting Vol Society. Don't forget, on your way out, please, please visit Marley Pacific Handmade. She made this beautiful Tennessee pillow for me. She sponsored the live stream, pregame and postgame show. Please visit her. It's on our Facebook page. Just look in our posts, or we'll post a link to her business. She makes these beautiful pillows. She can make a Tennessee blanket, baby quilts, nursery accessories. It don't have to be Tennessee, but big Tennessee fan. She's based out of Memphis, Tennessee. yeah, like I said, please give her a visit. Once again, read Eddie's comment here. Still need to figure out her secondary going into next year. Absolutely. That's going to be probably the big weakness, obviously, for us going into next year and still figuring it out. But hopefully, some of these new guys coming in, we can get them coached up, and maybe Willie Martinez can dial up some plays. Thank you. Bill says, thank you, Vol Society. So, as we sign out, let's raise our glasses one more time. I got the orange juice. It's just orange juice right now. Thank you, Vol Society, for a great 2022 football season. We're going to continue the live streams throughout January. We're going to dive into basketball, focus on the basketballs as they make their run to the NCAA tournament. We're going to do those. I believe on Wednesday nights. We're going to jump back into the Wednesday night streams. We'll figure it out along the way. But it's sad to see the football season come to an end, but at least it's ending on a happy note. So, fantastic job for Josh Heupel and this Tennessee football team. So, we're going to wind it down. Thank you for everybody staying up late. Have a happy new year. Like I said, I say every time, stay safe out there if you're going out celebrating, whether right now or in 12 hours when it's New Year's Day. Be responsible if you do drink. Please make sure you have a designated driver or somebody take you home. If you partake in that, if not, have fun. Enjoy this New Year's. Enjoy the Orange Bowl. Be kind to everybody. Spread love, not hate. Bill saying good night from Miami Lakes as he's down there in the Orange Bowl. So once again, thank you, Vol Society. We had a great turnout. Thank you, Marley Pacific Handmade, not only for the Pella, but sponsoring the show. And we'll post a link to her business if you want to help her out. So she helped us out tonight. So Orange Bowl champions, celebrate it, Vol fans. And we'll talk to y'all later. This is David Morrison saying have a great morning and go Vols.